Hi, this is Dennis Gage. Welcome to another edition of My Classic Car. Today we're on the beautiful campus of Oakland University in Rochester, Michigan for one of the world's most prestigious automotive events, the Meadowbrook Concours d'Elegance. The name comes from the fact that Oakland University is built on the grounds of Meadowbrook Hall, the former estate of Matilda Dodge Wilson. Meadowbrook has developed a reputation for the display of some of the finest automobiles in the world as works of art, so you'll see plenty of period clothing and very elaborate displays. Joining me now is Pete Tundis, the chairman of this year's event. Pete.
Welcome, Dennis.
Great to be here.
Well, thank you for being here.
What a show.
I got to tell you, this is truly one of the best shows that we've had to date.
Well, and it's the 20th year, right?
20th anniversary, and we both have Chrysler and Porsche celebrating both marks this year.
Now, you bring in cars by invitation, is that correct?
By invitation. We generally work a year to 2 years out in advance and get cars literally from all over the world.
So what does it take to be a Meadowbrook invitee?
Well, actually, you have to have one of the most spectacular cars in your class to come here.
And they come from all over the world?
All over the world.
So you have many Europeans this
Yes,
year?
as a matter of fact, we have a lot of the vintage Porsches that came in right from the factory museum this year.
Well, it is a first-class event, and I've just been impressed just walking up here to do the interview with you, so I'm dying to get back out there. Now, tough question, I know. What is your favorite car at this unique event?
Well, being an old hot rodder at heart, I really like Goldenrod, the land speed car back in 1965.
Well, anything that's got 4 inline Hemis, you gotta love.
And goes 300 miles an hour.
Well, hey, Pete, thanks for having us here.
Thank you for coming.
Fabulous event.
1941 Plymouth is next. Convertible coupe, Rochester Hills, Horace Bedsole.
The Concours d'Elegance at Meadowbrook Hall is one of the top automotive events in the world. In fact, its popularity is rivaling that of Pebble Beach, America's premier auto event. Everywhere you turn, you see a spectacular display of automotive excellence and beauty, and the grounds of Meadowbrook Hall add just the right touch of elegance and charm. The hall's public history began in 1957 when Alfred and Matilda Wilson founded Oakland University with a gift of their 1,400-acre estate, which included Meadowbrook Hall, an 80,000 square foot mansion. Because this is Detroit's home event, many of the cars entered were owned by celebrities or automotive executives. But regardless of whether they were famous or not, they were all true car enthusiasts. Well, Judith, your 56 Mark II has quite a nice decoration there, doesn't it?
It has a lovely decoration. In fact, I think it belongs there.
Probably ride around with it all the time.
Absolutely. I don't think I'm ever going to take it off.
Now, this is your car, your 56 Mark II.
This is my very own car. I've only owned it a couple of months. It's an original condition.
My goodness.
And I am just thrilled that my very first event with my own car, and it has that pretty decoration.
You know, I can tell you're thrilled. And you're so appropriately attired.
Absolutely. I mean, if you have a black and white car, you got to, you know.
So is even the interior original also?
The interior is original. Absolutely nothing has been done to the car.
Now that was very
miles.
special leather that went into those.
Very special leather.
The name of it was, I can't even remember what the name of it was, but all of these things, every part of this was virtually handmade.
Absolutely, and as you probably know, when these cars were produced, they were actually, it cost $11,000 to produce them, and they were sold for $10,000.
What a buy. But in those days, when a Buick or something was going for about 6 or 7, that was a pretty penny.
Exactly.
But these today, this to me is a landmark design. It is as elegant today as it was in 56.
It is just such a classic, clean lines, beautiful design, low to the ground. And I should talk about the way this car drives. It is absolutely the driving dynamics and taking it out on the highway. I mean, you just feel such huge freedom.
Absolutely, and it'll look great with that blue and fluttering the breeze.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Judith, thanks so much for sharing it with us.
Thank you.
It is gorgeous.
I enjoyed talking to you.
Now, Andy, as special events manager for Chrysler, how does the sponsorship work?
Well, we sponsor a lot of what we call high-image events.
This would be one of them, for sure.
This is one of them, yes. We got involved in sponsoring high-image events about 5 years ago. We started out with this event, and we do the Pebble Beach Concours, the Monterey Historic Races up at Laguna Seca, and we just felt that it was an excellent opportunity for us to show off our products.
Now, you're not only a Chrysler guy and special events guy, but you're a car guy.
I'm a car guy
in fact,
too.
this is your car here at Meadowbrook.
This is my car.
Well, tell me about it.
It's a 1970 AAR CUDA. AAR stands for All American Racers, and it was the Dan Gurney car. They built about 2,600 of these AAR CUDAs. They built them for about 6 months in 1970, and they are equipped with a 340 engine, has a special block with 3 two-barrel Holley carburetors on it, so that's where it got the name 346 pack.
Well, Scotty, you're pretty much here as kind of a celebrity presenter, but you've also got a car here, right?
I have a Chevy 56 Bel Air convertible that's right here, and I also have a Chrysler 1950 hardtop.
So you're a car guy.
I like how my wife has a 67 Mustang.
Ooh.
So I got the big 3 covered.
Well, that's important here in Michigan. I think
that's right.
The chrome on it's beautiful.
Yeah,
The paint,
it's a nice
the
car.
interior is stunning, and it looks absolutely stock. Except I noticed there's some trim in the back that's a little bit not stock. Let's go back and look at that.
I put the decals on.
Yeah, I don't think you got these in '56.
They came only in 97 and 98.
97 and 98.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of 5 cars that was ever produced by Chrysler. It was an experimental dream car.
This is a very rare car. This is a 71 Monteverde?
71, yeah.
Tell me about this. I've never seen one of these.
Well, a lot of people haven't. They were sold primarily in Europe, although there are some in the States. He produced, I think his total production run of these coupes, a 4-door sedan, which is spectacular, and an equally beautiful convertible was maybe 250 to 300
Oh, really?
cars.
So Bob, Chrysler powered, of course. What was under the hood?
This is a Chrysler 440 Magnum, 375 horsepower, and it's mated to a 3-speed torque flight, which has the little wiggle worm transmission gate, like the German transmissions did. So it makes it very nice to shift. You can shift it manually if you want.
Welcome back to My Classic Car in the Meadowbrook Concours d'Elegance. Our feature this week is about the Olds 442, a muscle car that helped put Oldsmobile at the head of the performance class during the late 1960s. Well, I'm in Claremont, Florida with Michelle Johnson and this gorgeous 68 Oldsmobile 442, which is actually your husband Lee's, right?
That's correct.
But today you're
designated
driver, indeed. Now this is a landmark year for the 442. It's really the first year for the 442.
This is the first year the 442 is its own model. It had always been nothing more than an option on a Cutlass.
And that started back in what, 64,
64,
I believe? But in
correct.
68, it's a car.
This is a 442.
Now this car has also been brought back to factory specs. I mean, it is beautiful, but you've had to get it there. It's got some miles on it.
174,000 plus.
174,000.
That's correct.
Well, beautiful job, and to factory specs.
Ground up, factory specs.
Now, in 68, they did an awful lot to this car. They, of course, the whole body style is different, but they shortened it.
4 to 5 inches shortened. Hood louvers were added,
First
and
year
the
for
hood
the hood
bulge,
louvers.
give it a little more aggressive look.
Yes. Well, one of the things I always liked about these is I love the rear end. I love the exhausts on this car.
These are called trumpets.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
I can't imagine why.
Well, and the bumper is exclusive to the 442. It has special cutouts to accommodate those wide flare exhaust.
Well, the chrome is beautiful on the trumpets and the bumper. I imagine they're
Rechromed.
Rechromed, but
That's
it's all
correct.
original, eh?
Yes, it is.
Well, let's look in the trunk.
Oh, the trunk's brand new. I don't think too many people use trunks on muscle cars. It has the original cardboard houndstooth spare tire cover.
Boy, I bet that'd be hard to find
Just
if you
about
needed to.
impossible.
Now, these things were pretty notorious for rust in specific areas.
Yes,
One
they
was
were.
along here.
Right. And this sloping window created a retention pond
Oh, lovely,
area
yes.
down around here, and that was all cut out and replaced too at the end of the vinyl.
Great job on it. Now, this car is particularly interesting because it's actually a sport coupe, right?
Yes, it is.
Which, with the windows up, looks like a hardtop. But with them down, and you open up the door, it's actually a post sedan.
That's correct. There's your post.
Now, this was probably the rarest of these, wasn't it?
It was. There were only about 4,500 of this particular model made.
And the hardtop was the most common with about 24,000.
Right. Followed by the convertible, and then the sport coupe.
The sport coupe.
Right.
Now, your interior, beautiful, original upholstery and everything?
Oh, the rear seat's original. I don't think rear seats in muscle cars saw too much use. Front's been recovered. The dashboard is all original. Side panels, so it's It's in beautiful shape for the
Now, how
miles
about
it
the
has.
Kenwood stereo?
Well, the Kenwood, not too many people kept their 8 tracks.
Yeah, it's hard to get
hard
tapes,
to get
hard to
8
get those
track,
tapes, yeah.
So the Kenwood adds a little attitude.
Yeah. But that's where the 8-track would have gone.
Yes, that's exactly where the factory would have put it.
Well, you have the original window sticker on this car. I was reading it. It's like a $3,000 car base, but it's got $1,700 worth of options on it. This is really loaded.
It is. This is a luxury muscle car. It has factory air conditioning. It had the AM/FM stereo, power windows, bucket seats, sport wheel are some of the large options on it.
Beautiful. Well, now it also had kind of an interesting drivetrain package. This is an L65, right?
Right. This is a cruising package option.
The cruising package. What constituted the cruising package?
290 horsepower, 400 CID engine. It's only a 2-barrel.
A 2-barrel?
2-barrel. That's correct. It was designed to run on regular gasoline with a 9-to-1 compression engine.
For the economy-minded muscle car enthusiast.
It was advertised for the economy-minded.
Interesting combination. Well, let's have a look under the hood.
Okay.
Now that 2-barrel didn't really rob it of too much.
Oh no, that's the fooler on this car. It still has 425 foot-pounds of torque at 2,400 RPM with a 256 rear-end ratio.
So now with the 4-barrel 350 horsepower option, it actually didn't have as much low-end torque as this.
It had 440 at 3,200. So this is a mover.
So quick out of the hole.
And economy-minded.
And economy-minded, yes. Well, and along those lines, it had a 256 rear end in this package.
Right, so it was a good highway cruiser.
High speed, 130 mile an hour.
It's been known to go that fast.
So let's see, with all that low-end torque, it's relatively quick out of the hole.
Yes, it is.
Pretty good top end.
Wonderful top end.
What do you say?
I think it needs to run.
Let's run. After all, it's a cruiser.
It is a cruiser, and I'll show you just how.
And I imagine it turns a lot of heads.
We cannot take this car anywhere without someone commenting on the car. In fact, Lee relayed...
It's a great feeling, isn't it?
It is. It is. Lee relayed a funny experience. He came home one day and said he had pulled up in a parking lot, and a man leaned out the car window and yelled, "Sold." Both of the previous owners were just above meticulous about maintaining documentation. We have insurance cards, we have receipts for gaskets. Basically, I could trace the history of this car from the day it was on the showroom floor until we bought it.
Well, yeah,
everything that was done to it.
Above meticulous, bordering on obsessive, actually.
Yeah, but that's the way to be.
But it's nice to have. It's great to have.
It's wonderful to go back and look and know that this car was well loved by everyone that had it.
Michelle, what will this do from a dead stop?
You want to find out?
Oh, I do. At least a little bit. Well, it is good low-end torque. And for an economy muscle car, I like it very much.
This is an economy car.
You know, they just don't make economy cars like this anymore.
No, they sure don't.